How's it going, family? C.Mea here with my second long-awaited top 10. As a continuation of my anime-related top 10 series, I'll be going over my favorite Johto episodes. Keep in mind that this is my opinion, and that you do not have to agree with it. With that in mind, roll the intro. Johto, the region that became the sequel to Generation 1, and a fan favorite among many others. Don't hate me, but I've never really played Generation 2 much. Quite honestly, I haven't really spent much time with the region at all. Same goes with the anime. While I have watched it entirely, I found it to be overall worse than Season 1. The animation improved, and that's it. It's like Season 1 all over again, except with different characters. Anyway, this is about my favorite episodes, so let's get this started. Johto did have its moments after all. Number 10. At number 10, we have Do's and Don'ts, episode 233. Let's start with the Team Rocket episode, one that adds development to the gang. Really, there's not much in this episode. It's pretty funny at times and really shows how much Team Rocket struggles with money. Basically, Jesse, James, and Meowth run out of money and they go through the application process again to renew their Team Rocket memberships. This episode introduces Delibird, the delivery Pokemon, and adds backstory to Jesse in the form of an unpaid juice box. Number 9. The Perfect Match. This episode is great in the sense that we finally get a cool battle between Ash and Misty. Considering Ash never had to beat Misty to get her badge, it felt really good to see them brawling. As the final battle of the Whirlpool Cup, a competition that lasted several episodes, it was worthy enough to be on this list. Also, apparently, Poliwag and Dab. Number 8. In the 8th position, we have A Promise is a Promise. Now, I've talked about this episode before in my Legendary Pokemon are Immortal theory video a while back. This episode features 2 Lugia, something Pokemon never had done before. Ash and friends are still being held captive from the episode prior, and so are Lugia. This episode also features Butch and Cassidy, the slightly more competent Team Rocket members and rivals to Jesse and James. They're using technology very similar to that used on Garchomp at the beginning of the XY series to control and enhance the powers of their Pokemon, and to try and control Lugia. Sadly failed due to the few Deus Ex Machinas, but it's still a good episode. Still, was saying the word enraged before saying the attack name really necessary? Number 7. A Goldenrod Opportunity. Oh yes, this one was great. Overconfident Ash Ketchum versus Whitney. The pain, the agony, the rollouts. Witnessing Ash getting annihilated is always a great feeling, and this one is no exception. Is there really anything else to say? Number 6. Charizard's Burning Ambitions is a really hot episode. This one is pretty well known. It's the episode where Ash's best Pokemon, at that time, leaves the gang. Charizard is really special. It wasn't listening to Ash until halfway through the Orange Islands. Besides Pikachu, it's the Pokemon that has gotten the most character development. To see it leave at the Charcific Valley was heartbreaking. At least more than Butterfree. Charizard gets beaten by stronger and bigger Charizard, but still wants to join them in order to become the best. After pure determination, it finally manages to get accepted, leaving Ash with 1 fewer Pokemon. Number 5. Surprisingly enough, I actually like Team Rocket when they get character development. Ignorance is Blissey is the perfect example of that. While it doesn't add anything to the plot of the series, unlike the Hollywood Meowth episode, it however succeeds in making Jessie seem like a good person, which is kinda hard to do. Apparently she tried to enter medical school to become a Blissey nurse, or something like that. The story is a bit weird at times, but the episode succeeds at doing 2 things it had to do. Add character development to Jessie, and teach us that there are certain things that are more impossible to do than engineering. Number 4. Rage of Innocence, episode 238. This episode features the Red Gyarados from the Lake of Rage in Lance. The champion goes after Team Rocket, the organization, not the useless trio, and stops their plans. He then has to go after the rampaging shiny Gyarados in order to stop it before the town gets destroyed. After a hard-fought battle, he is able to catch the Pokemon and make it his own. I really liked this episode, mainly because of the champion's presence, but also because the Team Rocket organization was there. It felt like a more mature episode, and the action in it is really good. That's why it deserves the number 4 spot. Number 3. In episode 256, Better 8 Than Never, Ash faces Claire for his final Johto gym badge. He brings back classic Pokemon such as Charizard and Snorlax to fight off against her. The battle is intense, and although not as epic as the Blaine one, it's pretty exciting. Ash uses the field to his advantage with another unique strategy and manages to pull off a victory, earning himself the right to enter the Pokémon League. Number 2! At the number 2 spot, we have Playing with Fire. This one may be a bit biased, but I think I can justify it. First off, Blaziken! Yes, my favorite Pokemon is in there. Had it not been for what's next on the list, it would have easily made it to first. All jokes aside, this episode is amazing. It features one of the best fights of the series, and goes above and beyond to make it worthy of the finale of the Pokemon League. Ash faces Harrison in a battle of fire and will, where Ash's Charizard and Harrison's Blaziken clash. Blaziken's speed and Charizard's aerial skills are perfectly represented in this episode. This battle is good enough to give you chills. Also, rip Bayleaf, dead in the mini-lock, dead in the anime. Number 1. Finally, on the number 1 spot, we have Can't Beat the Heat, episode 272. Let's finish this top 10 with a blast, with an episode that should have been the finale to the Indigo League series. I'm obviously talking about the only thing that could top the Blaziken episode. I'm talking about the Ash vs. Gary fight. Seeing Charizard facing up against Gary's Blastoise was truly a heartfelt moment. Ash and Gary battled it out in a fight for honor, glory, and a shot at becoming the Pokemon League champion. They put everything on the line and deliver a battle only achievable by true rivals. You could easily feel that both Ash and Gary had traveled for a long period of time, that this was the match to decide it all. Anyway, that's it for this top 10 video. Please make sure to hit that like button down below for us if you enjoyed the video, and to remember all of the Me family, comment, it's always appreciated. What are your top 10 favorite episodes? What are your thoughts on the new editing style with my face and everything? I don't know, tell me. What top 10 should I make next? Tell me below. I'll see you next time, and as always, C.Mea.